Thomas à Kempis, chapter 21, says this: "Resist manfully, one custom overcometh another." Now we could substitute the word habit for custom there. Resist manfully, one habit overcometh another. Now this is wonderful news, and it defines something that isn't taken advantage of sufficiently. We can have the idea that all habits are bad and must be eradicated. We feel guilty about them and are aware that they are holding us back from spiritual maturity. And all we can think of doing is to try to switch off the bad habit, try to stop the bad habit. But finding the on-off switch is often very difficult. We have a need, you see, to fulfill our own desires. And because of the fall, we tend to gravitate towards the negative. It's the negative that become habits, and our spiritual growth is stunted. Thomas à Kempis offers some great advice. Instead of trying to eradicate a bad habit, why not exchange the bad habit for a good one? We should accept the human reality that we are creatures of habit, which is why we have so little success in overcoming bad ones. We must exchange bad habits for good. Now the thing is, can this really work? Yes, it can. It's worked for me, and I'm pretty much an average person. Here's some simple but common examples. Do I read or listen to the news first thing in the morning? Could that be why I feel burdened before the day has hardly started? I may as well read a book of lies, fears, and gossip. Why not read a psalm? Find a hymn channel on YouTube. Pray, or find a website that publishes a Christian thought for the day. Any one of these would be a valuable habit that could radically lift our day. Now, what about the bad habit of getting irritated when our opinions are questioned? It's an illogical habit, and a bad one at that. We could cultivate the unusual habit of welcoming differences of opinion. After all, we may learn that we are wrong, or at least partially wrong. Or because we have to explain ourselves, we may even discover further reasons for believing as we do. It's a win-win situation. Welcoming a new opinion. Iron sharpens iron, Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17. Now, what about a habit of hopeful expectation when something goes wrong? My plans are obstructed, the train has been cancelled, or whatever. Why do I have to be the slave to a habit of anxiety, even anger? The answer is, I don't. It's actually a choice I can make. Hopeful expectation says, I wonder why this has happened. Maybe God is protecting me from something, or has other plans, or is simply testing me. The point is, God knows, and this hasn't happened outside of his will. Therefore, we should have a default position of hopeful expectation. Maybe we'll see why it's happened, maybe we won't. Hopefully, we've already developed a habit of trust. Now, at first, it may be difficult to change the habits of a lifetime, but it can be done, and God is there to help us. God richly rewards our smallest efforts. Do you know, he knows how hard it is for us. He became one of us and learned what it was like. Suppose I have a habit of avoiding prayer when I'm tired. I could reverse this and begin to recognize the tiredness as the call to pray all the more. That's called devotion and will be a powerful habit. Prayer is effective when we want to pray, and more so when we don't want to pray. Have any of us got a bad habit of always looking for the negative in other people? How about reversing the habit and seeing if we can number all the positives? What a delightful habit that would be. I'm sure we'd be more like Jesus if we did. Take captive every thought, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. That's not to say we should be blind to faults, however. Some of us have a bad habit of always being in a hurry, probably a response to the feeling that there might not be enough time to finish what we're doing. But there'll be time enough. Enjoy the work you're doing and do it well. Cultivate a habit of calmness. Ask God to help you. When I was a child, I had a bad habit of frowning. When Jesus came into my heart when I was 20, he took the frown and replaced it with a smile. Maybe it's just a habit, but it's not a bad one. Mother Teresa said that peace begins with a smile. You can test this yourself. The next time you look and feel troubled, smile. And the first thing your mind does in response is to remind you of a list of things for which you can be happy. I guarantee this works. And you can do it if you wake up in the middle of the night. A smile travels both inwards and outwards. Let's cultivate as many good habits as we can and watch the bad habits shrivel away.